Welcome to ST Reviews, and my name is Sash. Today I wanted to take you through a couple of my little EDC gadgets, also known as key covers or key organisers. So I'm one that likes to have my keys neat and tidy so they don't scratch my phone and other bits and pieces or rattle around, but also wanted to be minimalist and something that I can easily slip in and out of the pocket, but be user friendly enough to be able to, open it quickly, unlock the door, lock the car, unlock the car, whatever the case may be. So what I'm going to be talking about today in particular is the Bellroy Key cover. Also, I've got a couple of the Orbitkey Key Organisers, including the clip and a Mag Connect magnetic latch system as well. So stay tuned for more. So to be fair, there's a bit of disclosure here. Now, once again, like all my other videos, I'll mention all these units have been purchased by myself. There's no sponsorship, there are no freebies, these are all paid by Sash. This Bellroy key cover I've used now for a short while. As you can see, it's like all the other Bellroy genuine leather products. It does generate some nice patina and definite softness in the material, which I thoroughly like, to make it nice and soft. Now this particular key cover holds anywhere between 4 to 8 keys. I have no idea how you can fit 4 to 8 keys. I've got 4 in here, maybe 6 will be absolute maximum, and it does have a nice magnetic clasp or closing system that you can hear snap close, which I think it's quite nice. It does have the Bellroy little owl there in the logo, as you can see right there. A leather loop to hook up to your car key as well. And how this particular unit works, and I'm going to take out the keys because I'm going to try them into the Orbitkey ones just for an example. So how these work is you got to pull out, it's got an elastic tab which comes out of the little notch in there, and then you insert this little metal tab through the keys and out they come. And to put it back in is just the total opposite, where you slide this little tab, put it through the key so the key doesn't dangle on the side. It goes into this groove at the top where you stretch it, put it through, and there you go. The idea is that when you get to where you're going, you open it up, flip the key you need, close it, lock and unlock, and Bob's your uncle and Jane's your auntie. So now that these particular keys are out, a few other things that I normally carry with my keys is my car key, Leatherman Micra, and my trusted air tag. Okay, so they'll make a complete set of what I carry. So first things first, I'm going to look at the Orbitkey Key Organizer. Let's have a look. I did get 2, so again, full disclosure, I've previously used this one. It's a silicon-based sporty version, which also it doesn't come with it. I purchased this multi-tool that's got a box opener, range, bottle opener, yada yada yada, that comes in as an additional extra, and it does inside the box come with an extra spring, which I'll show you soon where that fits in. Well, it's not a spring actually, it's a spring washer anyway. But as much as I enjoyed using this, it is silicon, rubber, whatever it is. It doesn't create any softness. If anything else, you may see a few scratches here and there, which is not a big deal, but you can't make it your own. It's not, I don't know, it doesn't make me overly happy holding it and carrying it and so forth. I wanted to give it another crack, so I went out and I purchased this one here. Now this unit here is a leather unit, and as you can see here, or you may be able to see it once the camera decides to zoom in. Sorry, focusing I should say. There we go. No key jingles or scratches, holds 2 to 7 keys, secure locking mechanism, carry your car key on the included D-ring, yada yada yada, 2-year warranty, and so forth. Now, let's get rid of the box. And this here is the leather version. Now, not only is it a leather version, this is a Saffiano type of a leather. Now, my understanding from doing a bit of research before I purchased this is that this type of leather, the Saffiano leather, was used in some major designer brands in the past. And reason being is that the leather is somehow treated to make it more resistant to scratches, and also making it a bit more resistant to water as well. So I thought, well, this would be handy considering that your keys tend to go wherever you go. So let me just take it out of this little tricky pouch, and da-da. So this one also has that spring washer as well. Now I can tell you now, let's do the sniff test. Yep, smells like leather. It is a thick piece of leather, and it's stiff, and I like that. It just shows me that, you know, over time it is going to get softer. And how these work is you've got your D-clip here, which your car keys will attach to, but more importantly, let's chuck in the other keys. So I don't want to bore you with me opening this massive screw that goes inside. Now with these, there are extenders you can get to add more keys, less keys, etc. This is just what comes in the box. So here's that spring washer that sits at the bottom, and that spring washer really makes the keys nice and tight and firm when you lock it so they don't get lost. Inside it's got the Orbitkey in gold. It does have some writing on the other side which you need, what does it say? No, who cares. It's got a nice stitch. This is like a cherry leather color, which I really liked. So without further ado, let's just chuck in some keys to see how that will work. 1 second. So there's key number 1, key number 2. Let's go with key number 3. And sorry for the scratching, key number 4. You then place this little screw through the keys, through the other side. Hopefully I get it first time so I don't have to make you watch this all over again. And you just screw it in eventually. There we go. Now once this is screwed in, camera. Okay, we're there now. Sorry. Okay. So just making it finger tight. Now it does have a groove in there that you can use a 5-cent piece, 10-cent piece, a quarter, depends where you live. Anyway, some sort of a apparatus or a coin to make it tighter. The tighter you make this, the stiffer the keys come out. Now let me tell you one thing already. This versus this, as you can see, it's a much slimmer profile, and in my opinion does look a lot more elegant and a lot more premium. However, that's the thickness of them both. So there's the pros and the cons for you right there, that, you know, this does add a little bit more bulk, whereas this is a lot flatter. However, the profile width wise, this Bellroy is wider. Anyway, yada yada yada. Let's get on to the rest of the keys. So with my car key, you're not going to be able to squeeze that through anyhow, unless you use some sort of a ring to clip it through. And come on, you stupid thing. There we go. I could have used this one here as well, but just in the interest of time, that's how this would look. And then I would have to clip on my air tag, which again would go through this ring, yada yada yada, and my Leatherman. Now, this is where it gets interesting. I went out through to Amazon, and I'll add a link to that as well, and I got this Mag Connect, magnetic quick connect key holder. It says that it quickly connects your key accessories, and it's got strong magnets and so forth. Now the reason I got this particular unit is that I don't always want to carry everything with me at any given time. Sometimes all I want is my car key to leave in my pocket, and the other bits and pieces don't have to come with me. So in theory, what I thought was, well, you know what? Why don't I, for example, use this with my trusted Leatherman. Oh, you know what? I'm just going to pause and come back. So here it is, all put together. Now this sort of defeats the purpose of having anything slimline, because I can tell you now, it's very bulky. Like, you've got a handful of stuff. But I don't always want to carry this Leatherman, for example, on my keys. If I'm wearing clothes that require a bit of tight fitting, maybe this has to go. So the idea is that instead of me undoing all the rings and unclipping, I've got this magnetic thingamajiggy, also known as a mag connect, that will allow me to disconnect it or connect it. Now, there's a bit of weight with all these keys, and it's holding it quite tight. And the Leatherman's quite solid too. So let's see if this KeySmart thingy is strong. Oh my God. Oh, yeah, there's a lot of, well, there's a fair bit of force required to pull it apart. And to join it back together, that's all it takes. So let's just have a look. How much? Oh, it's now sticking to the other metal parts. Oh, look, it's already moving. Boom. Okay, this is a keeper. I like that. It's nice and tight. So then I thought, well, you know what, Sash, why don't you get the Orbitkey Clip as well? Why, you say? So you can waste some money. And because I thought this may make it a little bit easier and a bit more premium looking. Not to mention that, again, there's a bit of natural leather here. So the idea behind this is you've got this carabiner clip, which is very flimsy. So this is the 1.0, I believe there's a 2.0. This plastic thing is like, it's sort of, there you can see it, it's like, doesn't even line up inside, but yeah, I wouldn't trust that. Anyway, and then the idea is, well, there's two things you can do. One, you can pull this little metal tab out like this and try not to, my goodness, you need bloody pliers for that stupid thing. Okay, it's out, and now you can take this piece of leather tab out, which is not much more to it than leather that's been bonded somehow, and you can take this ring out. Now the reason you might want to take that ring out is because you may wish to use just the key organizer on its own without all the mumbo jumbo that I put on before. And how you would do that is by putting that through there and sliding that back around. Sorry, but this is quite painful to do. And click, there we go, it's in. And now you've got yourself a neat little key holder. Now these little key rings are actually quite handy, because you can either A, take out all these keys and put it on this ring. And just to give you a bit of an example of how they operate is, or how it operates, is that you've got one thing that, you know, most people will be familiar with is these style rings require you to stretch it, put the key through and wind it around, blah blah blah. Okay, what Orbitkey have done with this is that it allows you to pull this plastic down and spin it around until you get this gap where you then slide the key and spin that plastic tab around, and you will see a little click and a lock into place, and the key is going nowhere. Now I think that's pretty nifty. You know, prevents you from ripping your fingernails out trying to slide that other one around. But anyway, that's a pretty cool little gadget. Now what I'm not sure about is, well, I can't get my car key through that, so I'd have to rely on this little ring thingamajiggy. or I can put it through here. It's now getting a bit long for my liking. Just too much going on there. So I'll have to have a bit of a play with it in regards to perhaps you can only use this, or this, or this, and this, and this, but there's a bit too much going on here because I don't want these keys hanging up here. Maybe that needs to go back here, and this little magnetic thingamajiggy will go here as well. And then where do I put this? Maybe there. Anyway, it's up to you how you want to use it, but that gives you a bit of an example of how this little system works. I think this is pretty safe. Your keys aren't going to be coming out in the near future. Here's my little magnet once again. I think I'm a bit most excited about this magnet because of how strong it is and how much force it requires for you to pull it out. So yeah, there's a couple of options. Looking at it quickly at the Orbitkey Clip, Orbitkey Organizer, both in the silicone and leather. First impressions on the leather, as I've not used it yet, versus the silicone, is it's definitely the way to go. I'm going to put this across because you never know when you need a bottle opener, and definitely need the box cutter or package opener, I should say. Yeah, so the leather definitely is my preferred option. I do like the contrast of the cherry brown / red color and the black here and here. I don't know about this clip, whether I should have got it or if it's just a waste of money, but that's another story for another time. So that just shows you through a video of what some of the pros and cons are of each of these units, the comparison, and what my preferences are. Overall, I like to rotate and just pick something different. And the reason I looked at both the Orbitkey key organisers that I've got here is that one is more of a, I guess, what I like to call an active or a sports version, because it's a silicone based one, but being one that prefers the natural materials like leather, I opted in for this leather one, which today was the first time I actually set it up, and I'm sure with with time it's going to generate some good patina and softness. But yeah, that was a review of those units. Thank you for tuning in once again. This is Sash from SD Reviews signing out. Take care and brush your hair. Goodbye.